What's up, everybody? It's Dansu here with more Stormbound. Today I'm going to be showing a Shadowfen deck, which is something different that I haven't done in a while. I think that with the new balance changes, Shadowfen is actually really strong. I think that the class itself doesn't really have any great synergies. Like, for example, Rain of Frogs into Kindred's Grace is a synergy, or Rain of Frogs into Claxy, or Toxic Sacrifice on any frog, or poison combos in general. I think that even though the class has these synergies, they're not very strong. But with the new changes to Toad, the Elevated, Witches of the Wild, and Curse of Strings, and even Blood Ministers, which was buffed a while back, I think I think that overall Shadowfen has become a really strong class just because each individual card is so strong. So today I want to show you guys this deck. The most notable thing about it is that I'm playing Curse of Strings because at rank 1, very few people ever use this card, but it does have some utility. Its biggest downside is that it can only really handle removing one enemy unit. So for 7 mana, even though if you convert, say, a 12 strength unit, or at level 5, if you convert a 15 strength unit, you do get a lot of value out of it, but you usually don't get a lot of board control because the opponent is probably still right at your base. However, what's good about Curse of Strings is that you can advance your own front line. So one sneaky combo you can pull later on is Curse of Strings into a 2 movement card. So in this case, it would be First Mutineer. And actually, so Toad the Elevated kind of lets you do a similar thing by attacking a unit and then jumping forwards, but that's even more situational. So overall, I think this deck doesn't need Curse of Strings. It could easily run a lower mana card that is just strong for the most part, but I did want to show you guys Curse of Strings at a high level because it does lead to some pretty flashy plays sometimes. All right, let's hit it. Okay, IDYK pawn. So over here, I think I'm gonna just play my hand and then not cycle a card. I usually want to cycle to try to dig for Ubass, but Witches of the Wild plus Lawless Herd is a pretty strong 5 mana play. Witches of the Wild especially, as long as you can attack one enemy unit that has 3 or more strength, it automatically becomes 4 mana for 11 strength, which is really strong because it's almost essentially unconditional. Witches of the Wild doesn't really net us that much strength here. I think I'm gonna cycle it actually. I guess we're never unhappy doing this. I really wanted to play green prototypes to trade evenly with this 5 strength unit, but oh, actually, you know what we could have done was we played green prototypes to hit the Raven, and then the Westwind Sailors would have taken 1 poison damage, and then it would have been at 4 strength also, and then we would have traded evenly. But I didn't have the foresight to do that. It's okay, we can still get some value out of Brood Sages on his poison unit, but that's not nearly as good as getting green prototypes off. So, cycle Curse of Strings. Alright, we have a pretty solid hand here. So, we're gonna remove this. I think I'm gonna destroy that. Okay, I think we're looking pretty good here. We have an Ubass that he has to take care of at some point. And if he decides to go aggressive and kill our gifted recruits, we can definitely Blood Ministers next turn. Oh, it looks like he just gave up on us. Oh no, here we go. Primelings. and that's it. Okay. I think this guy kind of AFK'd, so we're just gonna call it a quick game. Overall, I think with the new balance patch, the game has been a lot more fun lately, since Winter and Swarm aren't the only viable classes anymore. And even if they were, I think the two kingdoms have been shuffled up pretty well. All right, over here we're gonna Ubass and then hopefully win with first Mutineer if we can get 2 shots on his face. Yeah, actually, yeah, that was guaranteed. So good game. Alright, facing a Paul B39. It's getting to the end of the month, so I'm seeing a lot of people that I haven't seen before, actually. That's good. I heard that the Stormbound player base has been shrinking a little bit, but I think really what's happening is a lot of people who are in the lower ranks, who aren't as committed to the game, kind of play in and out. But I think a lot of the game's core player base is maturing. Like, I see a lot more people who are I see a lot more people who are at 15 base health or higher, and I think in general people are playing smarter and climbing to higher ranks. I think we're better off playing witches and green prototypes. So I'm gonna cycle something first, because if we can get through this the hunter, I might want to play that instead. So let's cycle through saviors. Okay. Here we go. Okay, just look at that. This Witches of the Wild draining 6 strength total, so that's a 4 mana for 17 strength. And it's not even like it's a hard thing to set up. Like, for example, Mistwives, which is the card that gets stronger. Oh, this is too good of an opportunity. We're just gonna play for value. We could go for base damage, but I found that in the new meta, you're really not in any race to kill the opponent. So this is fine. If you're wondering why I cycled off the first Mutineer there, it was because since my front line is all filled up, I figured that the chance that I can play first Mutineer to hit his base next turn is pretty low. And if I can't hit his base, then I'm better off playing different cards. Okay, well, I'm just gonna do this spam over here. Ooh, level 5 Gift of the Wise. I really like the new Gift of the Wise. I think that overall, because the meta has slowed down a bit, it's actually better now than it was before. I'd say that if Swarm was still as dominant as it used to be, then the new Gift of the Wise would be worse, because you have to wait until turn 7 to play it. But as of now, once you hit turn 7, your plays become absolutely devastating. Yeah, just check this out. Okay. So he has a lot of AoE, but he just used Frost Hexers, so he can't Midwinter Chaos to deal damage this turn, he might be able to use it to stall. And he uses Victor's, so... Oh! Okay, 2 Gift of the Wise turns back to back. Or was there one in between? No, I think that was back to back. Oh, that's pretty good. Well, good for him, not for me. Okay. Let's chuck green prototypes first. Gonna curse that. And then... I think I'm actually gonna opt to play 3 cases here. Yeah, so it looks like because he has so much AoE, we should be prioritizing base damage over a board presence. Alright, we're not going to be using first and this thing. Okay, so I want to get off Toad's ability and Witches. So this is the play. Right now we're trading pretty evenly, but he has more late game than us for sure. So we kind of have to hustle and draw Ubass, or stack up all of my strength into one unit, like Witches of the Wild here, because it looks like he mostly has board wipes, not like spot removal. Like, hopefully he doesn't have confinement. I haven't been counting his cards, but I think he's played every single one already. I don't think I've seen an Ubass the Hunter either, which is actually really, really good news for us, because in long drawn out games like this, Ubass is what wins the game. Because he kind of can convert your board presence. Oh no, he does have one, but his Ubass is smaller than mine. Yeah, this is not gonna look good for him. So I think I'm just gonna convert this. I want to play it up here, but he's definitely gonna play Victor's next turn. Maybe it's still worth putting it here. Yeah, I think having Ubass threatening his base next... Oh no, he's just dead. I didn't even count the units on the board. Okay, well, so that's the power of level 5 Ubass and why I dumped so many fusion stones into him. So it's a little bit unfair, but when we go up against people with a similarly sized Ubass, it works out in the end. Alright, CN Crystal. Okay, so here's someone who almost definitely has a level 5 Ubass. Gonna save him because he's gonna come in handy. Even though we could play Toad next turn. Does he have a green prototypes? Oh no. Oh, that would have been a really good play. So luckily for us, he decided not to trade. And in general, I think that if you're going second and you have a first mutineer and the opponent has one unit, you should almost definitely play the first mutineer to damage the other unit. And the reason for that is because if you only have one card out, then the opponent is going to kill it regardless. Like, if you have 2 units out, then I might not be able to clear both of them. But if you have 1, then I can definitely clear it out. So since your unit is going to die anyways, you should probably try to guarantee that it damages the opponent's unit and doesn't get cashed out for value, the way that my Witches of the Wild cashed out on his first mutineer. Okay, that's what we like to see. I think that because the meta has slowed down so much, you almost always have time to regain your board presence. So if Ubass goes all face and doesn't really hit the board, As long as your base isn't immediately being pressured, you should be fine. Yeah, so he's playing Winter. Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna throw out Brood Sages. Okay, this is a hard choice. But I think I'm gonna go with... Strength Advantage. He is up to my front line now, but I think that he has to waste all of his time clearing out my units. Hopefully no freeze combo. We could be wiped out with a... Oh, maybe he does have one. Okay. That was a fat Ubass. I think that we're gonna race him here. Okay, so we only have to land 2 more Ubass shots on him. But we are in a very precarious situation now. I'm probably gonna cycle Toad and hope for a Dubious Hag. We could cycle Ubass here. I'm reluctant to because we're so close to winning, but I think that we're probably gonna win in a, or we're probably gonna have to wait like 3 or 4 turns before we can win. Okay, so we got the right cycle. Okay. Alright, let's not take that extra base damage. Okay, so next turn, we should be able... If we can cycle into First Mutineer, and he plays very aggressive, like he plays all of his units around my base, we might be able to sneakily advance our front line with Brood Sages, and just First Mutineer him to death. But that depends on... Oh, Jesus. Okay, so Brood Sages is not going to help us here. I think I'm going to keep Curse in case he wipes out everything I have next turn. Okay, here we go. So we have a lot of outs next turn, but I'm not sure. It looks like he doesn't really run any 2 movement units. I think he's gonna play Ubass this turn. Okay. Okay, I think Crystal just lost. Because, yep, we can just curse it First Mutineer. Oh, unless Ubass sniped us down just then, but it did not. So in this case, because we had Blood Ministers, that convert wasn't actually necessary. But if, for example, the Ubass removed our front line, we would have been able to catch up there and win anyways. So yeah, that's Shadowfen, guys. I think that it's actually becoming very strong. Alright, up against Migdan 74. So I think I'm gonna play first Mutineer and cycle extra. Cycle these two. Alright. If I can't clear my first Mutineer, then we're probably gonna play Copperskin plus Brood Sage. Looks like he might have like a West Wind or something. Oh no, Shady Cool. Okay, trying to rush me down. We go on the defensive field. I don't like putting Copperskin here because he can easily play one unit to kill Copperskin and then one unit to attack my base in the very far right, very far lower right. But if I put Copperskin one more to the right, then it's going to trade evenly with the green prototypes. So that's why I put it there. And then I think I'm going to cycle Lawless because we're going to need units to attack him next turn. Let's see how aggressive Migdan is playing. Because we do have a lot of pressure on his base. But if he knows that we can't really rush him down, like, our only guaranteed source of damage to his base is first Mutineer. And we gotta play like 2.5 of those to kill him. Oh, okay. It's an interesting choice. So I'm gonna cycle Curse. I think what we're gonna do here is play Witches and green prototypes. Because this way, when we do get to playing Ubass the Hunter, we'll have an extra Raven and Robot on our side. He's probably going to have to defend his base this turn. If he doesn't defend it at all, then we're just going to first Mutineer to win. Yeah, okay. I figured as much. Oh, this man is so aggressive. Okay, we're gonna chuck Dubious Hags. I think we're gonna finish him off within the next 2 turns. If not, right now. Nope, no luck. So if I had to say right now, just based off of the performance of this deck, I would still say that Winter is stronger overall. Like, the thing is, you really can't compete with an extra 5 mana on turn 7, unless you can win before turn 7. So, like, if you guys probably noticed, this deck is very, very, very highly upgraded, and I think that it does work against other decks that are about the same upgradedness. But if your deck is even comes up a little bit short, like if your Ubass isn't level 5, then it's not really worth playing so many different unit types just to buff the Ubass. Then you're better off playing Winter, where you can play Gift of the Wise for more mana for more strength. But yeah, I think this deck is very, very fun. I've been playing it non-stop, basically, except to play some Winter, so give it a shot and let me know what you guys think. I'll see you next time.